Hey guys, Sleepy here, and welcome to a new pickups video. Today I'm going to share with you guys all the stuff I got for my birthday. My birthday was last month in January on the 14th, and I turned 39 this year. Can't believe I'm getting so close to 40. I don't really feel old yet, but sometimes my body can have its aches and pains, and I just know that once you hit 40, just start climbing up that mountain of getting older and older, and eventually you start over the mountain and you start tumbling your way down, as my mom says. But I had a really good birthday, though. I was able to spend time with my family and friends. We had a great dinner, and we had a great cake that my mom had made me. It was really good, and I received gift cards and money from everybody, and I used that money and gift cards to buy games for my collection. And I picked up some great stuff from my local game stores. I did a little game hunting at thrift stores, went to Gamefly, got some stuff off there, and some stuff from eBay. So we'll start off from the thrift stores. This was one of those village thrift stores that I've been to before. They had a bunch of games, but it was just mostly sports titles or games that I had no interest in. But I did find a cool plush there, as I still collect these Nintendo plushes. It was only $4, but I got another green Yoshi plush, so pretty cool. I'm always on the lookout for more Nintendo plushes, and who knows, maybe my wife might steal this one, though blue is her favorite color for the Yoshis, and pink, so I think the green one will be safe. So I did get a cool Yoshi for $4. And then I went to that thrift store that I haven't been to now for a little while, and it's a thrift store where all the proceeds go to the local Humane Society to help cats and dogs and stuff. And they've had a bunch of video games there, but it's been mostly kind of like sports games or titles that I'm not interested in. But one of my goals this year has been to wrap up my Xbox 360 collection, and I found a title there that I did not have for $6, and that was a copy of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which I do love the Call of Duty games. Now, I don't play them for the multiplayer, I just play them for the story mode. I do enjoy playing the zombies modes that they have in these games and doing that co-op, but I'm not into the competitive multiplayer at all. But I have not played this one before, so I would like to check it out. It is complete and has both discs in there, and both discs were like in mint condition. Like, I swear the person who had this never even used it. Like, they're pretty much flawless. So you usually don't find games from thrift stores in the best condition, but this one was like new, which is really cool. I do also have this for the Xbox One, but I wanted to have the 360 version, so I want to get all the Call of Duty games for the 360 that I'm missing, and this is one that I was. So that was a great find. We'll move on to a couple of things I got from eBay. One of my things with getting the Xbox 360 games I wanted is there's 2 Transformer games that I was missing, and sadly none of my local game stores had a copy of this, so I had to go onto eBay, but it was only like $10 or something with shipping. And that title is Transformers Dark of the Moon, which is in pretty good condition. There's a little wrinkled up for the cover, but that's not a big deal to me. The disc's pretty good condition as well, and it's complete with the manual. That's what is tough to find sometimes with these Transformers games, is finding them complete with the manual. So I was really happy to get that, as this was one of the 2 games I was missing to complete my Transformers collection for Xbox 360, so I'm really happy with that. And then this title I actually picked up when my brother came to visit last month for my birthday, and just hadn't seen us for a few months, and he had this game on his PC, and I got to play it digitally. And I was looking to like, hey, I like this game, let me see if there's a physical version out there, and I found out there was one for the PlayStation 4, and that is a game called American Fugitive. And this is a really cool game that plays like the old Grand Theft Auto games. So it's, if you guys remember playing like Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2 on PlayStation 1, or Grand Theft Auto London with the isometric view, it's like that, but a modern take on it. And this has all the DLC from it, and it just was really fun. I played that for like an hour on his PC, and I really loved it. And so while I was there playing it, I got onto eBay on my phone and found a good copy here. I think it was like 20 some bucks. It was brand new and sealed. And most of the sealed copies actually have a stamp where they stamped out the back of the barcode. Sometimes the publishers and developers will do that to copies that they discount for some reason, and you'll find them out and about. And so I wanted to get one in really good condition, and I can't wait to check this out. So I was really happy to get it. Highly recommend, if you've never played American Fugitive, to pick up a copy. I'm pretty sure this was released digitally only for the Xbox One, but it is physical on the PlayStation 4, and so that's why I wanted to have a physical copy, because I love my physical copies, so I can't wait to eventually play this. So you guys will see me talk about this in one of my future weekly gaming playlist videos, so pay attention for that. Next up, we have here is an RPG game that was recommended to me by a friend, and I've decided to get the collector's edition of it, and that is Silent Hope Day 1 edition. I think it was like $40 or something shipped. It is brand new, but there was a little tear in there, which was not a big deal. But this has the game. It also came with a soundtrack CD and a 96-page full-color art book, which is really cool. It says 7 heroes, 1 mission, craft weapons and items from mysterious materials found in the depths. Brave the abyss, return to base camp and improve your skills in this dungeon crawler action RPG. And it just looked really cool. I also remember seeing a video from Reggie about this, and how he said he really liked it, and it just looked like something I would love to pick up, so I figured I might as well just get the collector's edition, since I don't have too many collector's editions for the Nintendo Switch. But really happy, and I eventually will be playing this and sharing this one as well, so it looks awesome. So that's all the stuff from eBay. Now we'll go to stuff from Gamefly. I love buying games from Gamefly, because one of the greatest things is, when you rent games, 99% of the time you can keep them for a discounted price, but they also do have sales periodically on their site. So sometimes you can buy them used, sometimes you can buy them new. And so I picked up some more games for my Xbox One and PlayStation 4 collection. First up for PlayStation 4 is, this was another one I saw on one of Reggie's videos, and he recommended it. It looked really cool. It was 41 Hours, physical for the PS4 version. It's an interesting first-person shooter where you fight like some kind of like mechs, and I think there's like mechs that you fight in it, and you're trying to find your lost wife, but then there's this woman or something that's with you that has like powers and stuff. It just looked really interesting, and I love first-person shooters, and I got it for a really good deal. I think it was only ended up being like 11 or 12 bucks, but really cool, and I definitely would like to check that one out. It looks fun, so keep an eye out. I will be talking about that one in the future. Now we're getting to the Xbox One game. So this is an Xbox Series X game. It's called Iron Harvest 1920, the Complete Edition. Now what's cool about this is that this isn't real-time strategy game. This has all the DLC, so there's 4 different campaigns to play with 4 different sides, and this takes place in the 1920s, so after World War I, but in an alternate history where there's like I was reading up, they said it called it a steampunk mecha world. So there's like mech vehicles in this, but where they look kind of like they would if we had mech stuff in the 1920s. So this takes place after World War I, but it's an alternate world, an alternate reality, and just looked really awesome. Saw really good things about it, and this was just recommended on Gamefly, so I definitely look forward to checking this one out. Next up, this is a cool flight combat adventure, a game called Chorus. And this was also on a really good deal on Gamefly, and I was able to get a brand new copy for the price of a used one, which was good, and it was under 20 bucks. But it just looks really cool. So it's a space combat game. Your ship is a character of itself, and then you play, I don't know if it says her name or not. Yeah, Nara. So she was once the Circle's deadliest warrior. Now she's their most wanted fugitives. As Nara and her starfighter Forsaken journey across the galaxy to unite resistance forces against the Circle and free the universe from oppression. So this is another one recommended from Gamefly, and it just looked really awesome, and I do love space combat games, and the graphics look amazing. The music I've seen looked good, so I can't wait to check that one out. Next up is a game here called Killer Frequency, and this was another one recommended by Gamefly, and it's just an interesting first-person, like kind of a story adventure game where you take place It takes place in a broadcasting studio, and there's just a whole story to go through, and it just looked really cool. And it has to deal with a killer and stuff. And it says, you know, can you save the inhabitants of Gallows Creek? And it just looked really cool. And so definitely wanted to check out Killer Frequency. And I think this one was like 14 or 15 bucks. Really cool. Next up here is another title that I've seen multiple times locally. This is a Xbox Series X game, and it's called In Sound Mind, and this is the deluxe edition, which comes with a code to download the digital art book and digital soundtrack. But this was a cool game. It says, explore and fight through a series of unsettling memories as you journey within the inner workings of the one place you can't seem to escape, your own mind. So it's kind of a horror game and puzzle and stuff. And I've seen this over the last few years, and I decided to finally pull the trigger and get it because I really would like to check it out. And it's got the little code in there, so that was really cool. And this one was also pretty cheap too. I think it was like 11 to 13 bucks. Really good deal for that. Next up, this is one I actually randomly ran into while I was searching GameStop's website for Xbox games and just looking for stuff that has come out that I might have missed. And this was one that I did. And it's an Xbox One and Series X game, and it's called The Eternal Cylinder. And what's interesting about this game is you start off as this little, these little weird little creatures, and you're on this planet, and there's this big giant cylinder that, as you play through the game, starts destroying the world, and you actually have to run, and you actually eventually can find more of these creatures to become part of your family, your group, and you can play as different ones, and there's a whole interesting story, and it just looked really cool. And I started checking out gameplay of it online, and then I saw that I could get it from GameFly, and it was only $17.99, and so I did the keep option. Now what's interesting too is I did not know this game actually comes with a cool little survivor's handbook, which is really neat, and like kind of tells you like how to play the game and gives you some tips and stuff, and just looked really neat. It's really cool. I love when games do these physical little bonuses, books, or sometimes they still come with a manual or a music CD or something, but it's just really neat. And I did not know that even came with this, so that was really cool, little neat surprise to get in there. And I can't wait to check this out because it does look really fun. So again, this year, you know, there's going to be a lot of great games I'm going to share in my weekly gaming playlist videos on Fridays, so keep an eye out for this one as well. And the last one I got from there is another horror title, which I love my horror games, and this just looked really fun, and I think it was like 12 bucks or something, and it is Phobia Saint Dinfina Hotel. I don't know how exactly to pronounce it. It's spelled really weird, but just looked really cool on GameFly. Another game I just randomly ran into. Some hair on there, and it just looked really interesting, so I can't wait to check it out and see. Definitely share my thoughts on it with you guys in one of those weekly gaming playlist videos though, so that was really awesome. And now we'll move on to the final stuff that I got from the local game store. So I got a couple strategy guides. Both of these were only $5, and this first one I thought I had, and I did not have it, so I'm really glad that they had it. And it was a copy here of Battlefield Hardline, which I have started playing this. I need to go back and beat it, but this has all the the collectibles and the tips and tricks and all that, and it's in really good condition, so happy to have another strategy guide for $5. And then they had one here. This is my absolute favorite Call of Duty game of all time, and I never had the strategy guide, so I definitely wanted to have it, and that is Call of Duty World at War, and it's a huge, thick manual. It's also complete with the map in there, which is awesome. You know, a lot of times people pull out the bonus maps in these strategy guides, so $5 for each for 2 strategy guides is awesome. So building up my strategy guide collection some more there. And now we'll start over some of the 360 games. Now, these are all titles that I have missed out on and wanted to add to my collection. Now, some of them I still have the sticker on to know the price, but not all of them I remember the exact price I paid. This first one I think was $10, and it is Syndicate, and this is a really cool first-person shooter. I remember renting it from Family Video, and then I just never got around to picking up a copy. And so this year I want to get some more of these games before the prices on these start skyrocketing, because once that Xbox 360 Marketplace shuts down in July this year, who knows what's going to happen to a lot of these physical copies. So really happy to get it, and it is complete. Even had some code in there to download something in it, but who knows if it'll work. But I was really happy to add that one. This was the other Transformers game I needed to get, and this is actually the very first game, but they only had a Platinum Hits version of it, which is not a big deal because it came with a cool bonus. But this is Transformers, the video game, and it includes a bonus disc, which has exclusive content, including talent interviews, behind-the-scenes stuff, and I'm pretty sure that it's the same one that came with the collector's edition for the 360. This game was called the Cybertron edition. I'm pretty sure that's the same CD. They just included it in this Platinum Hits version. So really happy, glad to finally have my Transformers collection complete for Xbox 360. There are 7 titles in the Transformers series that are on Xbox 360, and I finally have them all. And this one still has a sticker on it. It was $12, so really happy with that. Next up is a cool first-person shooter. It's kind of janky and stuff. It's set in World War II, but I really enjoy it. It's like an alternate, like if the Nazis won and they start invading America, and that's where the story takes place. This was $10, and it's called Turning Point: Fall of Liberty. I always thought I had this game, but I checked my list and saw that it did not, so decided to pick up a copy. It is complete. I remember beating it a long time ago, but I completely forgot the story, and I would love to check it out again, so looking forward to playing that this year. Next up, we have Warhammer Battle March, which this is an interesting RTS set in the original Warhammer series. So not Warhammer 40,000, but the Warhammer with the orcs and knights and wizards and that kind of stuff. And I remember renting it, enjoyed it, and I just never got around to getting a copy. So I decided to finally get out a copy here, and I think this one was $8, and it is complete with the manual, which is awesome. So glad to have that. And the last game here, there's actually 3 versions of it that I found for a really good deal. Alright, so now we'll move on to the last few things that I got from my local game stores. Now this next item here is one that I have been after for over a year. And it is the Wavebird receiver, because I actually received a Wavebird controller for free from a really cool thrift store that my buddy Todd had discovered, and I had been going to them for a while now. And I went there a few different times, and I actually tested out a bunch of their video game consoles and games for them and cords and stuff. And as part of doing that, you know, they gave me some games and consoles and that controller for free to compensate me for my time. Well, that Wavebird controller never had the receiver, which really sucks because it's not does not work without the receiver. It's useless without it. And if you go online, people want $40, $50, $100 for these receivers. It usually hovers around $50 to $60 for one. I didn't want to spend that. And I knew that if I waited long enough, I would eventually run into one at my local game stores. And this one was priced at $40, but I had a 20% off birthday coupon that I used while I was there. And so that took off $8, so it was a little over $30, and I finally have the receiver. I, paired it up with my Wavebird controller, which I had cleaned up after I bought it, and it works wonderful. And I love the Wavebird controllers for the GameCube. I've used them in the past. My buddy had one for his GameCube, and I loved playing it. And I've always wanted to get one, and now that I have one, I love it. And I'm really glad that I was able to finally get the receiver. So, sometimes you just gotta wait. Now, my game stores have had plenty of Wavebird controllers for sale, and they compared with the receiver, but they're always like anywhere from $50 to $100 for the controller. It really just depends on the store and the time of year. And they will never separate the receiver from it. But I got really lucky this month. I went there last week, and somebody had actually traded this in like the day before I got there. So really happy to have that now in my collection. And now this final stuff here is actually 3 versions of one game. And this is a game that I really enjoyed. I originally played it back in 2012. Now it was released for the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, and the PC. I had played the demo on the Xbox 360, but I rented this game from Family Video for the PlayStation 3 because the Xbox 360 copy was out. I only got about halfway through the story, and then we ended up having to return it, and I never returned to the game. And I was actually informed by my good buddy Dean this week that this game actually had just been delisted at the end of January, and that, hey man, you better jump on getting a copy now because they're probably going to go up in price. And going on eBay, they had just skyrocketed, and I got lucky that 2 of my local game stores actually had copies of these. And so that game is called Spec Ops: The Line. Now, I did get a PlayStation 3 copy for $12 because this was the original copy that my brother and I played, and we got through about halfway through the story. And so I wanted to just get the PS3 copy to have for the save file. Really glad that I got that for $12 locally, because this is now going for, I've seen for like $50, $60, $70, $80, $100 for PlayStation 3 copies. And my copy is complete, has the code paper in there, but even all the DLC, there's 2 little DLCs for this game, have been delisted as well from the marketplaces. So been delisted from Steam for PC, it's been delisted from the PlayStation Store and the Xbox 360 marketplace. So really happy to have that. Also found for $16, I got the Xbox 360 copy in really good condition. They replaced the case with a brand new case, which is cool. And I've been having a lot of fun with this game ever since I picked it up last week. And it's one that I definitely recommend. Really sucks that this one is even more expensive than the PS3 copies. I saw people on there wanting $150, $180, $220 for a copy. And you can see that it was like the end of January, like the 30th and 31st. You can see a whole bunch of copies selling for like 10, 15, 20, 30, 40. And then the prices just skyrocketed as everybody and their brother bought up all the copies to then resell since it's been delisted. And the DLC has been delisted now too, as well. As when I went on there to try to download the DLC through the marketplace on my Xbox Series X, because this game is backwards compatible with the Series X, which is amazing, and the Xbox One, I couldn't get to the DLC. But when I went through the games menu, I was actually able to download the free DLC, which actually adds a co-op mode, a challenge mode. But when I went back to check it this week, playing it now a few days later, I found out that the DLC now you can't even get through there, so it has been completely delisted. So sadly, this game is now gone digitally. The only way to get it is physically. However, it is super expensive, so I would recommend, if you want to get a copy, maybe you can find it at a local game store before they figure out that it's a rare game. That's why I jumped on it as soon as I could at my local game stores, because I knew as soon as they find out that it's expensive, they're going to jack the price up themselves. So really happy to get it. And it is complete. Actually, the game disc is actually in my console right now because I was playing it about a half hour ago before I started filming this video. But absolutely loving this game and really glad to have it in the collection. And then I just happened to see this at another game store location after I bought those 2. And I did not even know that this had come out. But I saw it, definitely knew I wanted to pick it up, and all these versions of this Spec Ops is sold out as well, and it's pretty uncommon to find, and it is called the 2K Rogues and Outlaws Collection. You get Spec Ops: The Line, Borderlands 2, and Mafia 2. So there are some of these cool triple packs that were released for the Xbox 360, and this was one of them. So it was really cool to see that they have Spec Ops: The Line, and I got this for $15, but I had the 20% discount, so I ended up making it $13. But you also get Borderlands 2 and Mafia 2, which is cool. It's got its own manual, so if you are looking for this version of it, it does have a little manual that is different. It doesn't come with 3 manuals; it comes with its own manual. You've got Mafia 2, which is platinum hits, because these triple packs were always re-releases, so they're platinum hit copies. Borderlands 2. But for some reason, the Spec Ops: The Line, they never made a Platinum Hits disc, so they just stuck the regular disc in there. So, really happy to get this. Just this cool collector's piece, basically, for Spec Ops: The Line, since it's become so expensive and rare. And I did not even know that they made this triple pack. I just happened to run into it. I just saw this and saw Spec Ops: The Line, and then I saw Borderlands 2 and Mafia 2, and I'm like, man, I've never seen that. I didn't even know this triple pack existed. I know some of the other ones, but not this one. So really happy to have that in the collection. So by far, my favorite birthday pickup is definitely this copies of Spec Ops: The Line and the GameCube Wavebird adapter, but I was really happy with everything I got for my birthday. I had a great time with family and friends and got some great stuff for the collection. So this year I am going to start focusing some more on Xbox 360 games, like I said, because once that marketplace closes down in July, it's going to be really difficult to get some of these games. And I'm also working on downloading the last of the DLC that I want to get, because all the DLC is going to be delisted from the marketplace. So if you don't buy it, you'll never be able to get it. If there's some add-on map pack or a cars or a character or whatever it is, I would recommend go on there and buy the stuff you want now, back it up on your consoles, because once it's delisted, you'll never be able to buy it again through their site. Alright guys, so that's all my birthday pickups. I want to thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys have been picking up lately. I want to thank you for watching. Take care. Have a wonderful day, and Sleepy. We'll see you guys next time.